Formerly depressed Redditors, what action did you take to combat your depression? Forcing myself into situations where I at least had the possibility of being happy. Sleeping in bed all day? Nothing will change. Refusing every friend who asks you out to do something? Nothing will change. Staying in the house all day? Nothing will change. No one will ever come and save you from your depression. It's tough, but true. You simply have to force yourself into situations where the possibility of something changing actually exists. Professional help. These kind of threads are always filled with advice like exercise, socialize, meditate, but none of that ever did a lick of help for me. Professional, medical, and psychological help did me wonders after a decade of suffering. I don't walk around all day literally wanting to not have ever existed. It's amazing. Thank you. It bothers me that this answer is seen as less admirable or inspiring than others. For me, finding the right combination of drugs was a grueling trial and error. But now that I have my life back. I had to go to the gym X numbers of days per week, whether I wanted to or not. But I promised myself that if I got there, with my bag packed and everything, and still just wasn't feeling it, I was allowed to go home and chill. Usually by the time I dragged my ass there, I would end up working out, and those endorphins can be hella therapeutic. I've definitely found myself in the same situation. I've definitely found that exercise can be very helpful for a while. The hardest part is getting started, building momentum, creating a habit. I'm not saying it's a substitute for medical intervention or psychotherapy. I'm just saying that it's surprisingly effective and an underprescribed recommendation. Obviously, this is just a personal anecdote, but I believe that the toughest part of depression is feeling worthy enough to care for yourself. Exercise can be a great springboard to get there. Honestly, accepting that it was okay for me to feel like crap. So much of my depression was just building upon itself because, in addition to feeling like crap, I felt guilty, stupid, and worthless for not being happy. One day, I thought to myself, you know what? I can live with being unhappy. I don't need to be happy. I can function just fine without feeling like it seems like 99% of other people are feeling. After that, it was tangible things like getting a job and a supportive partner. But just accepting how I felt and not making it into a big deal was a massive step. Absolutely. Removing the struggle that says, I shouldn't feel this way, is an important change. This is something I just learned to do. It has really helped me take away some of the burden. A therapist that specializes in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, by changing the way I thought about things, it diminished my depression. About 4 years prior to this therapist, I had been on antidepressants for a good 5 years, and had seen 2 other therapists. The meds and the former 2 therapists weren't a good fit. I wish I had researched the therapy styles to these further. The meds, Zoloft and then Effexor, just kind of deadened me. It's crazy how easily primary care doctors prescribe them. I tapered off myself. Got 3 electrical shock sensations that really flipped me out. Scared me to think I was putting something in my body that could cause that. Therapists are like shoes. Different ones will fit you better. Don't give up if your first try doesn't feel right. BT is seriously amazing. I was able to get out of my depression using this, which also helped me in making better life choices related to diet, exercise, socializing, and so forth. No meds. I was just becoming more and more dependent on alcohol, falling further down the rabbit hole. I drink not to be depressed, and be depressed because I drank so much. One day, I just quit drinking. However, I just cut out sugars and carbs altogether. My body has been in a ketosis for about 75 days. My body is fat adapted, meaning it's using fat for energy. My panic attacks have disappeared. My anxiety is non-existent, and my depression is gone. A simple diet change. I eat bacon all the time. I wake up earlier. I have lost about 35 pounds, which makes me happier as well. Highly recommended. Are you saying that bacon cures depression? Is there anything that bacon can't do? I'm trying not to be pedantic when I say this, but formerly depressed doesn't feel like a real thing. I have learned how to manage my symptoms, what my warning signs are for another episode, how to talk to others about my depression in a way that makes people feel they are able to understand, and how to work myself towards getting through an episode. But another episode always feels like it's right on the horizon. Becoming aware of your warning signs and triggers is really important. When I stop listening to music, playing guitar, or cooking, I realize I'm getting bad. So at those points, I avoid things that might trigger my symptoms. Once I'm feeling anxious, mindful breathing or guided mindfulness, you can find hundreds of videos on YouTube. It is amazing. Once I'm in a depressive episode, I find that managing to do one or a few small tasks a day can slightly improve my mental well-being. Just managing to brush your teeth, take a shower, or do the dishes is an incredible feat. Giving yourself at least something positive to look back on can help you turn things around. My overall top bit of advice would be to talk to someone. Find at least one person who can listen. You'll be surprised at the amount of good that will come from it. I did the usual. Went on meds, started therapy, all that. But then, my therapist left and I started college. And between the stress of everything and my ridiculously unhealthy lifestyle, I started getting bad again. So I got counseling. I got out of a dead-end relationship with a guy who didn't support my life goals and started focusing more on friendships instead. I cut toxic people out of my life. I stopped trying to please others and started trying to become who I wanted to be. I started exercising. I stopped eating crap. You'd be shocked what wonders a balanced diet, or at least a vegetable once in a while, can work for your mental health. I got myself in a routine that included fitness classes, regular meals, and overall activity. Getting up and doing stuff instead of sleeping and crying all the time. And yeah, I still struggle with nagging thoughts and need medication in order to experience emotions normally, but I'm a hell of a lot happier with my life now. Depression is a sickness, and it has to be treated like one, but a shocking amount of progress can be made by just giving yourself a kick in the pants. No one is ducking around when they say you have to want to change. Also, if your mom doesn't love the person you're dating, they aren't worth it. Trust me. Found out the root cause of most of my depression was from untreated ADD. Was diagnosed in first grade and stopped taking meds in college because of stigma and bad advice. Fast forward to married, kids, mortgage. I coped poorly with all of these things, and untreated I reacted poorly as well. Things changed a lot after going to psychologists and psychiatrists and getting in meds and learning new coping mechanisms. I still deal with anxiety as well, which is new for me, and pills don't help as much for me because it is real. As in, there are real people, environments associated with it, whereas false anxieties like deciding which shoes to wear can be helped more. Losing weight helped too. I did a juice, raw, food fast and started walking and jogging 5 years ago and lost 113 pounds in 9 months. Kept off 80 pounds of it after gaining back some after an injury. Good luck. Get help. It's normal. Take your medication, especially if you are bipolar or manic. If BP or MD, remember this. Highs are lies. Feeling invincible and brilliant today doesn't mean you won't be crashing with a gun pointed tomorrow. Seen it happen to a friend. Take care, good luck, and blessings. And that takes us to the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more mental health Reddit. I'm starting this channel to help viewers like you out there with issues related to mental health and giving us a place to gather and share our stories. I should be uploading videos about 3 times a week going forward, so be on the lookout. Until next time, peace.